Still having trouble with the e-logs, but that doesn't really matter because I'm out of a job on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and furry studio audience. Yep, that is Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Alright, been one of those days. Everyone has them a few times in their life, you know? I mean, unless you've never switched jobs or anything like that, but I'll tell you, day started off bad. Got up, because we had this load booked for yesterday, over to the shipper, and this is a place that normally ships out just styrofoam and like on pallets, and so they can fill an entire trailer, and the entire load only weighs like 3,500 pounds. So that's what they're used to. But apparently about once every 6 months or so, they ship out recycled styrofoam where they shrink it way down and it gets real hardened, and it's like little brick pieces. It's really heavy, and they fill these giant sacks with those. But they're not used to doing this, and they're new to that. All they know is we can just shove everything on the trailer any way we want. It doesn't really matter. Well, when you have a heavy load, it does matter. And I'm out there waiting for them to load me, and as I was checking my app weigh and my suspension gauge on my truck, and I'm like, yeah, they're at like 40,000 pounds on the drives, and they're not even done yet. What the heck is going on? So I decided to go in and talk to them and say, look, I'm a little concerned. It looks like you're way overloading me on my drives. How are you loading this? And then I finally got to go over and take a look at it. It's the giant sacks. They double stacked them all the way from the very nose of the trailer back. So there was no way to fix it at that point. And they're having to use what they normally use to put on their stuff, which is not a regular forklift, but one that clamps on the side of these sacks. And they were saying, well, to pull it all off is going to take, a long time. And they tried pulling a couple down and all that, and they fell over, and you have these giant, hard, brick-type styrofoam pieces. And one thing led to another. Needless to say, long story short, that load did not go well. And so we basically had to get rid of that load. And in the process, then today, Mark and I were talking and so forth, and I won't get into the details other than to say things just aren't working out, so it's time to move on. So, so effectively I'm out of a job, and he's letting me get a load to get home, which is nice. But then I got to send everything back to him, the plates, and take the stickers off and all that kind of stuff, which was to be expected, because as a company, as a carrier, they want that stuff back immediately, which I get. I've done that a couple times before. Never after just such a short stint at a company, but that's how it goes. Like I say, no point in hashing any details or anything other than to say it just didn't work out, and so time to move on. So there you go. So now, right before Christmas, now I'm looking for another gig. It rained all yesterday afternoon, all through last night, and we had a little reprieve this morning. I actually saw a little bit of sun, but here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory, falling on my head like a true emotion. Oh baby, talk to me like lovers do. Anyway, so yeah, pretty fitting that now it's raining again on a day now that I gotta start searching for another gig. But that's life, baby. Ooh, ah. Yeah, rainy out there. Anyway, if it's just matches the day, Try to be upbeat though. That's life. Ooh, ah. That's how you lived it, and now you little brains are here to defend it. Defending Your Life, great movie if you've never seen that one, by the way. Anyway, I called the e-log people yesterday with Trucking Office. Good thing I never put these on my truck, eh? And they said, oh yeah, well that should have given you that split sleeper berth when you had that problem. I don't know why it didn't. I said, okay, I have 2 other questions for you. And they said, well, we'll look into that and we'll call you back. Did they ever call me back? No. Didn't call me back today either. But, at this point, and then of course, everything was green again. Everything's working fine. I don't know if the split sleeper would work again. I can put myself back in the sleeper, and I may do that on there just to see if it gives it to me later, because I did a much more than 2-hour break earlier. So we'll just see. Doesn't really matter though. And of course, then just a few moments ago, I get this one. Everything had cleared out. Then I just look over at it again a moment ago, and I get this message again. I tell you. Yeah, get that in malfunction state message again. So I don't know what the issue is. It keeps saying it's losing connection with the truck, which means the Bluetooth connection from this phone that I just had to buy is losing connection with the little dongle thing. So, like I say, kind of moot at this point, or as Joey and Friend says, it's a moo point. It's a cow's opinion, doesn't matter. Because, you know, I'm not going to be staying with Whitestone. So, yeah, so, but like I say, at least, you know, letting me run home. A lot of companies, when you part ways with them, they take everything from you and you're done. I know Mark was telling me a story about how that happened to him at a previous company. Take your insurance and everything else. So at least I'm able to run home. I'm going to get I've already got a load booked for tomorrow, picking up in right nearby where I am in Evansville, Indiana, going to Salt Lake City for a Monday. Well, actually, was going to be a Monday delivery, now a Sunday afternoon delivery. And that'll get me closer to Cheyenne. And if I have to drive home from there without a load, fine. If not, if I can find something from there to get me home, you know, Mark's going to at least let me finish that out. So that's nice. So I can get home and hopefully get paid to do it. But then, you know, we're going to start hunting. I did kind of glance at some emails that you guys had sent before. Some of you who gave me some other suggestions, appreciate all that. I'll probably be calling a few of you who did email me within the last month in the next few days, and talking to a few of you about maybe some opportunities. If you have any opportunities for a company you're an owner-operator, you're leased to or whatever, and want to let me know how that situation is, you can always email me. All right, clutchtrucker@gmail.com. That's how you can get a hold of me. All right, and then you know, like I say, I may be calling you. Include your numbers, so if I want to call you, I can. I'd appreciate that. So that's where we're at on all that. Oh, I did get my LED light bulbs, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that in the last video. Haven't had a chance to put them in yet because it's been raining like crazy, and it's supposed to continue raining. Look at this radar. Like I say, going to continue raining all through the night. So there you go. Anyway, but yeah, if you have any suggestions, so I'll be putting those, back to what I was talking about, LED bulbs, so I'm going to put those in. I did try to do some unboxing of the dash cam that I got in from Rexing, the new one, the V55. Problem is, the way the mount thing is put on it, it aims the lens down at my Kleenex box in the hood, so I couldn't put it up in the window. I'm going to have to create a little wedge to make it work in this truck. Unfortunately, the mount on that is made for cars, which have a very steep sloped, or I guess not really, yeah, narrow sloped is what I guess you would call it, sloped windshield, where we have a steep sloped windshield in these trucks. The older Rexings, like the V1 4K and the V1 Basic, worked because you had a long area of movement on the lens where you could set that, so I could aim it straight out, and the lens was aiming, or the screen was aiming right back at me, so that worked really well. The new V55, I'm going to have to make some alterations to make it work in this truck, which I think is kind of sad, because Rexing, you used to have a great product that you could use in a car or a truck or whatever, no matter the slope of your windshield. But their newest one, yeah, the slope of the windshield makes all the difference, and so I'm going to have to create some little wedge piece out of plastic or wood or metal or something, so I can put that on there, up onto the mount, into the window, and make it so that the lens looks straight ahead. So that will be continued. That probably won't happen until when I get home, you know, next week, sometime before Christmas. I'll start working on that, and of course I'll be looking for a new gig. So like I say, if you got any suggestions, would love to hear it. Again, clutchtrucker@gmail.com. Well, thanks for tuning in for that one. Life happens. What are you going to do? So we're looking for jobs in all the wrong places. Well, we hope not to be, anyway. Right, Rusty? Yeah. And boy, is it pouring down rain out there now. It's going to be all night, just like last night. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like and comment. I get your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes it takes a few days because, at least for now, I'm a working truck driver. There's Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter. It's where I put Rusty stuff for you. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Being from Earth as you are, and using as little of your brain as you do, your entire life has pretty much been devoted to dealing with fear. It has? Yes, of course. That's what little brains do. Little brains? That's what we call you behind your back. All right, you ready? Come on down here. Come on down here. No, you gotta see it first. No, come on down. Rusty, it's still in my hand. Come down here. Oh, there it goes. All right, you got it. You got it. You know my tricks by now, don't you? Oh, yes. Loving that bag and strip. He's loving that bag and strip. He'd eat 'em all day if I let him too. He's loving that bag and strip. All right, not a great song, but made it up. What do you know? They're not all golden, honey. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes. Happy dog. So we got an aerial close-up view of you munching that strip. It's right there. Oh, yes. Happy dog. There's a couple crumbs there, Rusty. You find them? There's one right there. Right there. A couple by your paw. Find them? You're all good? All right, I think you got them. All right, we need the happy dog look.